Well, it's yeah, it's Thursday, so we're not going out until Saturday, but we're gonna try to get the Rangers loaded up tonight and strapped in. Rangers in the meat wagon.
You look forward to it all year long, but it never really gets serious for me until I start loading the stuff on the trailer, throwing it in the back of the truck. Then it's like this wash of nervous excitement, knowing what you're trying to do, hoping to do, and knowing that it may or may not work out. We get to the trailhead, we unload, and then we have 20 plus miles of good and sometimes terribly bad trail.
Okay, I'll check it out. That should be a little bit better. Okay, we're all loaded up. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like we got that much gear, really.
Hopefully that doesn't mean we're forgetting something.
Yeah. It looks deeper than last year, but not a whole lot deeper than last year, and the approaches look okay. So, I think let's put our waders on and go through.
These are my giant waders that I found on the side of the road.
Don't forget your snazzy belt to go with them.
Be really styling in a minute here. But I'll be dry.
You'll be dry. How high did the Rangers do you think it's going to come up?
What?
How high on the Rangers do you think it's going to come up?
I'm guessing that it's going to be up to here this time at least. So if we'd have gone through it last year, like right about somewhere in here is where the air intake used to be. So this year, theoretically, we can drive into it up to here, but
Attempt not to do that.
Do you think we need to unhook the meat wagon for this one?
okay, we'll wrap it up.
Do you want the chainsaw out? So as Ben was driving by the tree hanging too low in the trail and caught his rack, which is designed to tilt back, but not by itself. Break!
Matilda, can you
Hold the
get in there
brake,
and hold the
Hunter.
brake down?
What?
Put the parking brake on. The brakes are shot. Like the brakes. Okay, I think we're
Good?
Good to go? You can tell Dad I'm pulling it out.
No time to do this.
Oh, so close.
Really?
I don't know. It's just not starting.
I flooded it.
How?
Huh?
What do you mean?
All I can smell is fuel and it won't stay running.
Okay. You have to put it in neutral, start it, and floor it. If that doesn't work, then it's just gonna have to let it sit for a bit. Maybe pull the plug.
Do you want me to ask Dad what it looks like or something?
Dying every time we go down a hill, and now we've got a flooded engine won't start, so we're going to try to turn up the idle so it'll stay running better and hopefully won't get flooded again.
What does the idle do?
No, the idle keeps the machine running.
Okay, I didn't know that. No one tells me anything about machines.
Last year, it seemed like everything that could go wrong with this machine went wrong with this machine, culminating with a motor 100% completely going out on the day before the last day of our moose hunt. That said, before this season, we had the motor rebuilt. We thought we had her all worked out. This was the first sign that not everything was going to be okay.
Ben, it's not starting.
What?
It's not starting.
Turn that screw.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, turn it a quarter, turn more, try it again. I'll put my waders on.
My machine wouldn't stay running because the oil hose got pulled out the bottom and we lost all our oil, but the oil looks good. So we're going to turn the idle up a little more and try it again while Ben's getting his waders on.
Oh, so close. Yay! We're good, guys. Nope, wait, never mind. Maybe not.
I can get it running, it won't stay running. And I've turned it pretty far, there's gas coming out the bottom. Look how deep it is.
Alright, hold me in and don't let me fall out, okay? Do it again. Because then it's not going to be much help. Oh, come on, guys. Shiny rocks.
Shiny rocks.
That's all they are, no sheep.
I always thought I saw so cool. I saw something going back.
It's hard to keep my attention focused on this, because, like,
Buddy, quiet down.
Seems really stinking hot.
The motor? Yeah. So it's telling you, it felt like it was running really hot. Is this the machine that over here?
I'm ready for new machines.
nothing keeps straight.
I think I got it.
Awesome.
Probably gonna feel a little more sluggish on the throttle because of what I did, but it's running fine, so I'm gonna leave it. Well, we're about where we want to be. It doesn't look like anybody's back here, so hopefully our camp's empty. We're seeing sheep on both sides of the valley. We haven't spotted any rams, but it looks like a storm's moving in, so we're gonna just get to camp and get set up.
Well, looks like we've reached our destination. We'll be setting up the camp. Looks likely we'll probably be setting the wall tent up somewhere over there. Where there's some space. Oh, cool. Now, let's just get camp going and set everything up. Come on, do a pull up. Pull up. No, I technically can't do a pull up on my Okay, fine then.
You never know what you're going to find when you get to where you're camped. It's hard to describe the excitement or the disappointment of showing up and finding an empty camp or an occupied camp. This time, pretty cool. We got lucky. Everything was as we thought it would be, empty. No one had been there. So we get right to work to setting up. We've had that wall tent that we're setting up here for 14 years. Stephanie and I bought that thing before we were married. The kids had kind of grown up in it. We probably spend 3 weeks in that thing every season.
Good news is he's not.
What happened?
Tell the camera what happened. What if he broke something and all you did was record it and laugh? Well, it's not even bleeding and he kind of like fell down.
Hey, Hunter, how could have this situation been avoided?
Tying your shoes. That might help.
It's blue already.
It's blue already? Well, let's see. Oh yeah, it is kind of blue. All right, well, walk it off. Unless it's broke, and then we'll figure something else out.
Bugs.
Mom, where's your dad?
Really, Ben?
I had to stop recording so I didn't get in too much trouble. But Bruce is fine. Leg's not broken. He walks it off, starts pounding steaks. Everything's back to normal. Pretty quickly, we get camp set up. No camp's perfect, but this camp is close. It's in one of the moosier spots in the valley, in between both ranges, with a decent view of either side. And there's a freshwater creek that runs behind it where we can get water. Pretty nice little spot.
The summer was no sweeter, was ever the sunshiny woods all athrill, the grayling leap in the river, the bighorn asleep on the hill. The strong life that never knows, harness the wilds where the caribou call. The freshness, the freedom, the fairness, oh God, how I'm stuck on it all. There are hardships that nobody reckons, there are valleys unpeopled and still. There's a land, oh, it beckons and beckons, and I want to go back, and I will.
This is primarily a sheep hunt, but moose season is open. So in the evenings and the mornings, if we're at camp, we do a little bit of calling.
What you doing, bud?
What?
What you doing?
I'm gonna try and call in moose. Hopefully it comes in somewhere over there where we can shoot it good.
We got a lot of grizzly bear fur on these trees over here. See all this? They're rubbing their backs up against it. All up and down.
Just on that tree?
No, they're everywhere.
Can you show us?
Here. Yeah. All of that. Kind of gross, really. And that one's really hairy.
And you can see our tent is right there. Thankfully, no sign of the grizzlies lately. So we got all our bags loaded up. We are prepared for a one-night stay up on the mountains, just in case the sheep don't do what we think they're going to do and we have to camp out up there overnight. We'll take the rangers and get as close as we can to the bottom and hike from there.
Okay.
So our plan is, I'm pretty sure to hike up there.
Up this ridge?
The sheep are right over there somewhere. There. It's hard to exactly know. I haven't looked through binoculars in a while. So I'll just drive as close to the bottom and go up. Well, my gun's sticking out here and it's captured about every single branch there is.
Well, we're going to the Alpine.
Hey, should I just make this shorter? And carry
Web
that up?
was it?
Mine is straight up, Hunter, and it's catching everything too.
Sure.
You can hear the creek in the background.
Across the creek and right over there.
Kind of in a cool spot now.
If you want to get eaten by a bear.
You know, pretty moss. Can't really see the end of it, but there's daylight out there somewhere.
Good spot to be mauled, but
When you get to the Alpine, it's pretty good walking. But the country before the Alpine is pretty rough. Miles of bogs and almost impassable alder that you almost have to crawl through.
How far in are we?
I would guess 1 mile.
You think we're gonna make it?
I'm not sure at this point. Hey, can you give us the family motto?
family motto.
Come on, everybody.
No.
Dad, you're holding a phone up.
Come on.
You can't hide in my
We
face.
have. What was it? Bruce, do you remember
We
it?
have crossed the impassable, opened the impenetrable. We have done the impossible. Wait, am I supposed to be yelling? We are the Carltons. Is that too
Okay.
loud?
That's the last loud thing. Here on out. You
We're
look
not
like
sure. We might
you
have
look
to
like
leave.
one of those cafeteria workers.
So we got up here on the mountain, but the wind's blowing the wrong direction, so we can't get any closer to the sheep.
So with the wind being wrong, we figured we'd go set up camp, wait for it to shift, and then run up there later in the evening and see if we could make a move on them.
Making some dinner with our jet boiled sumo. Pretty quick water boil, and everybody has a freeze-dried meal that they choose for dinner. What do you have, Bruce?
I have forever young mac and cheese. I don't know what the forever young means, but
Ben really doesn't want to go back to the tent for his food. Hunter gets the mess. Madison gets chili mac with beef.
I don't think I can hike anymore.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but the sheep are still up there. Moose Camp does have a few more amenities.
There's water right there. There's no.
Yeah, just run down and get some.
Well, I mean, I was thinking one of the.
go down there if I've got a bottle of ale Sprite.
Did you get my mouse?
I thought you meant we were sharing. I should have known. I'm 20.
I gave you instructions. I said pack.
dad should have to go for that. Yeah.
I never saw mine in my pack.
Well, sure.
I took my pack.
Maybe you put it in a different section?
Oh my. I hope. Did you pack mac and cheese, or what kind did you choose to pack?
Mac and cheese. And I
yours then,
that.
Are you sure you picked this kind?
Yeah, I'm sure. I was with him on. He surely did.
Where do you want to go?
We need to go up.
I don't want to go up. Why should I go?
Pathetic.
Let's just go.
Long story short, we hike back up, get up there, and find that we can't get on the ramps. But we did have an interesting thing happen on the way back. Hiking one of the bigger ridges down back to camp, we look off to our left. I don't remember who saw it first, but there's a sheep, probably a 3/4 curl ram, with just his head and a little bit of his neck sticking up above the ridge line, about 480, 500 yards away, just staring at us. We were busted. We headed back to camp. Day 2, we head back up, find the sheep, and come up with a plan to get them. Stephanie splits off and goes up and around the mountain, and I go down and back the way we came with the kids. We're going to meet up in the middle.
All right, what happened?
When you guys started coming across the trail, I kept hearing stuff on the other side, and I looked down,
Quiet.
and there's a grizzly bear watching you guys following down the ridge, and it started to come down the side that you were on. So I tried to get your attention.
That's what you were waving about?
Yeah.
Was it a grizzly bear?
Yes.
I never saw it.
Yeah, it's right there. The kids are looking at it right now.
What happened now?
There's a right there.
Shh.
Well, you guys were coming across here, and I was going after the sheep.
Yeah.
They disappeared into the clouds, and I didn't think it was worth me keeping going. So I started coming down, and I saw you guys on this high point out here. On the ridge right behind was a grizzly bear, just going down at your pace, and then it started to cut down like it was going to come over. So I started back to let you know. The frantic waving, the binocular signals, nothing.
Oh, I thought you were just saying, hey, I made it out.
Then Daryl?
Well, you would have had like lunch on a rope because we were all tied together.
Bears are really quite delicious. They kind of have a velvety beef-like texture. And this one probably would have been super good. You can watch us just mowing down on berries. But that bear's pretty safe because it would probably take us 2 or 3 trips to pack that whole thing back down the mountain. So the last thing we want to do is shoot a bear.
So we hiked over to that next ridge and went around, and there are 4 rams over there. But at first we only saw a couple, and then we heard some rock sliding, and something scared them away. Later, find out it was a grizzly bear, and while me and the kids were coming back, Mom went up and around.
Watch the rams go up into the clouds.
So now we can't get to the rams. There's a grizzly bear on the one side where we can't approach, and I think we're just gonna have to go back to camp. So we have enough food that was supposed to last until this morning. So we been making 24 hours of food last longer, but we still have to go all the way back down, so we'll see how it goes. And this is one last shot. If we don't get them on this one, or if they're not in the glacial bowl, then we'll probably end up sleeping back at the spike camp, and then we'll just have to pack up and leave in the morning because we'll be completely out of food.
The grizzly bear had moved the rams to a place where we couldn't get to them, so we turned around and hiked back to the spike camp. It was late and we didn't have any food, but we figured we could make it tonight, take a look around in the morning, and leave.
Give this to Hunter, please.
Hey Madison, what happened here?
Me? The tent fell over. Can you please hand us food to Hunter?
Okay. I just
Dad, really? Listen, I'm kind of cold and wet. I don't really feel like describing how the tent fell over. I don't really know. I just woke up wet.
Spend the night in that.
I just slept in that one with
That
Matilda.
was so awesome, except her breath.
And-
Her breath was kind of bad, but you know.
Hunter.
Ask Mom what happened.
Mom's busy.
Well, we're cold and wet, and we're out of food, and our tent is broke. So we're gonna pack up, head down to base camp, and regroup.
Eat. The rainfire got torn in half, right?
Yeah, but we're not out of hope yet. We'll fix it. We'll survive. Back at camp. Everybody's relaxing. Got dinner cooking. Madison's looking a little rough. Ah! What's that? What are you doing back there?
I think the Bigfoot had a baby.
So I'll clean up.
Look, how you gonna get cleaned up?
Well, I got some baby wipes. I'll probably take a bath later in the creek.
Practically mooned me under the rainbow.
I'm starting to get the butt itch.
Oh God.